Barcelona striker Ousmane Dembele is saying he believes the current French side are better than the World Cup winners of 4 years ago. Obviously, they've reached the final despite the absence of some big name stars. He kind of talks mainly about a mentality side of things. He thinks they're stronger. Simply, do you think this side is better than that World Cup winning side in 2018?
Tough one. I mean, look, Giroud's a far better player than how he played in 2018. He's been a massive improvement. Tchouaméni's come in, done really well, but would they be in front of Kante, Pogba? Probably not for me. I think defensively, France were probably slightly better in 2018. Lloris has been outstanding for France. He's played probably his best football for the French national team ever in his career to this tournament. So I think there's a number of players like Giroud. I go Lloris. I mean, the full-back areas have changed as well. They're not full strength there. I probably wouldn't go that far. They're a better team than 2018.
Do you know what I think is interesting? Because we were both at that Tunisia-France game, which by that stage France had already qualified from their group. So they did make a whole host of changes, 9 changes Didier Deschamps made, but they lost that game. And it did make us think, maybe their squad isn't as strong as we thought in terms of depth. Now, listen, it doesn't matter because they didn't have to win that game. They were already through. So you could maybe say, look, it's perhaps unfair to judge them on that particular game. But it did just make me think, maybe they just weren't as great as we all were saying beforehand. That being said, they're through to a final, so they have to be pretty decent. Yeah. And like you already mentioned, there were injuries coming into this tournament, injuries that were sustained in this tournament as well. And the players that have come in have done a job.
They've had 3 players that have been outstanding for them: Giroud, Griezmann, and obviously Lloris. I mentioned in goal. That's without what Mbappe's done as well. You know, they've been outstanding. Some great individual performances. Yeah.
So what I was kind of saying is Dembele was talking about that kind of mentality, and obviously, being without those big name stars. But another story is obviously that they've been, kind of sent back to the dark days of these COVID-style self-isolation and social distancing because a virus is kind of threatening to wreck the final with Argentina, and they're kind of having to overcome that as well. Raphael Varane, Ibrahima Konate of Liverpool, the latest players to fall victim of flu. As a player, how do you kind of overcome this when 2 big stars in your camp are isolating with flu, and how difficult is it? Have you ever experienced anything like that as a player?
Well, we've always, you get certain times of the year, especially around Christmas time, where you can get a little bit of a number of players fall down to the flu, just general flu. Look, clubs have the best ever, especially at international level. You get great medical advice, what to take, how to recover really quickly.
But you say that, though, there's a lot you can't take.
Of
the drugs.
Well, no, they have to work alongside FIFA, on what's recommended.
But that's interesting in itself. That, they can. I mean, I'm just going to throw out Lemsip. I don't know if you can have a Lemsip because I don't know if the drugs.
No, I don't think you can't.
No, exactly. There are certain things that you have to avoid because of drug testing, etc.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit tougher.
Yeah, they have enough help within the camp to get them over it as quick as they can. I should think by Sunday, which is only tomorrow now, that they'll all be fine. It's a World Cup final.
It's mad to think of these disruptions that you have before these big finals. Like I was listening to, there's a documentary coming out with the Lionesses, and they were saying before their final that the curtains in the hotel were on like an automatic thing, and they kept opening and disrupting them throughout the night. And they were like, did the Germany team like rig the curtains or something? Have you ever heard of these bizarre stories before?
Plenty of them, isn't there?
Like fireworks and things like that.
Wasn't it Spurs was it Spurs or Arsenal Lasagna Gate? Which team was that?
Spurs,
wasn't it?
Spurs,
yeah. So there's been all these, going into a really important final game of the season, needing to win, and unfortunately for Spurs players, they were all struck down by some sort of food poisoning, weren't they? And I think it didn't quite go to plan after that. But there must be. There must be all these little things that happen, and then you're thinking, the luck's just not with us, is it?
All these conspiracies,
things going wrong. Yeah.